caballeros, a la Deuces Wild Daily Hustle. Soy Enrique Byrnes y presidente es el mejor cerveza. Abate por los Tigres, por no filter. The host of the Mind Bender podcast, Miguelito Sandiaguito. Beyond that, my bench coach, my second base coach for the Savannah Bananas, my right-hand man, and just about, I don't know, everything we do, huh, Kowalski? Just life. Regardless, we come on here each and every single morning. We come on here, and we like to properly salute our boy, Will the Thrill, as well, and then each and every one of you properly.
Yes.
Oh, dude, it's been a minute, man.
Delighted to be back on the program. Feels like I'm back for the first time.
It's one of those things where you don't even know what you're missing until you come back on the show. And it's just delightful to see somebody else here on a daily hustle. And normally I come on, it's pretty buttoned up and, well, I don't know about that, but business oriented. We get right into the daily hustle quote, get right into the news stories, all the stuff. But awesome to have you back on, dude.
Pleasure to be with you. Are we international today in Makate City?
We are international once again at John Emmanuel Ramos Henderson in Makati City. Watching today where it rains every single day. All right, Kowalski. So
there can be no rainbow without the rain, Brosio.
That is the truth, huh? Today we have a special edition of the Daily Hustle, and you and I have talked extensively about kind of what we wanted to do here this morning. We have a big tournament coming up this weekend, the Best of the West, with our Let Them Play 14U squad. And when we were going over it, we're like, look, we definitely want to have a practice before, which we are going to do on Saturday. But we also wanted to give the boys some guidance as to what we expect going forward here and what we expect for the weekend. And really, ultimately, Kowalski, it's giving them tools to put them and put our team in the best position to succeed.
Yeah, I mean, look, man, if we don't give these guys the tools, right, then they're left to their own devices. Most oftentimes, they don't even realize how much their thoughts influence their preparation and their performance. So, and if they did recognize it, maybe they're not even sure what to do about it. So I think the fact that you're coming on here, setting very clear expectations on how we go out and execute, that's going to help the boys maximize their performance and opportunities to win pitches this weekend.
That is it. So typically, we probably would have done something like this on a private Zoom call. We thought about potentially doing a private no-filter session. And then what Kowalski and I agreed upon is like, look, dudes, we're not hiding anything. This isn't something that we're trying to keep away from our competition. This is a formula, actually, that's been very well documented in the Let Them Play Parenting and Coaching Guide to Use Sportsbook, which, of course, you could pick up at ericbyrnes.com. But ultimately, I think we're stewards of the game, and we love the game. And I think when we talk about coaching and influencing, there's only so much we could do. Ultimately, it's the players going out there and playing the game and just making sure they play it the right way. And I think for us, for as much as we love the game, love being around the game, all our experience in it, obviously, from a college professional level, doing what we did with the Bananas, I think the goal in all of this is, once again, just to do everything we can to put the kids in position to succeed.
Yep, 100%, man. Zero distortion there. If these guys want to maximize their potential and they want to close that gap, dude, and we've all got a gap, whatever that is. The gap is where you're living and playing right now to where your true potential is. So we're here to help try and close that gap and create some clarity on what the expectation is on the execution and competing pitch to pitch this weekend, man.
Okay, on that note, the Daily Hustle quote of the day. It's the little details that are vital. Little things make big things happen. 3 rules. Let's start with this, Kowalski. And this is for all the LTP kids, which we're going to have a little mandatory daily hustle viewing here. Pretty simple. No whiners. Nobody wants to hear it, and nobody cares. It also infiltrates the Dougie, the crowd, everything. It's no whiners. Number 2, be kind. This is a foundation of being a great teammate. And number 3, go hard. This is absolutely everything Let Them Play is about.
When you think about no whiners, when adversity hits, right? Do you respond with composure? Are you able to flush it, release it, and bring you back? Can you make sure that a previous or future pitch does not affect this pitch? Energy goes to preparation and execution, not to whining. So the players who refuse, to whine, train themselves to respond, not react. So I love that, man. When you talk about being kind, I mean, that's one of the first foundational principles, one of the greatest coaching manuals of all time, the Bible. Kindness is not weakness, right? I think John Wooden said, in my gentleness, that's my greatest strength. It's strength under control. The best teams are tough on standards, to the standard, not to the scoreboard, but kind in their relationships with the teammate. The best teams have the best teammates. The best teams are player-led, not coach-fed. Better people make better players, man. And then go all out. Are you going to be the type of player that holds back or goes all out? How you do anything is how you do everything. Like Byrnes said at the beginning, it's the execution of the smallest details that are going to produce the biggest results.
Expected overall approach for the team this weekend: play free, play fearless. Doers make mistakes, boys. Failure is a huge part of the game. How we respond to our failures is going to be the predictor of our future success. Number 2 here, fight for every inch. Inches decide games. And number 3, win the pitch. We're only as good as our next performance. Our next performance is always going to be the next pitch. Kowalski, your thoughts?
I mean, really, it all comes back down to playing the game one pitch at a time, being the one pitch warrior, being the executioner, and controlling what you can control, I think, is really the mastering the mental game of baseball. You don't control the umpires. And frankly, dudes, we're not that bad that we need every call to go our way to win. We don't control the lineup, the field conditions. You don't control your coaches. You don't control teammates, scouts, perfect game rankings, what other people say, think, or do. What you do control is your attitude, your preparation, your perspective, energy, effort, emotions, and this pitch.
The fight for the inch starts on the bases. So here we go. Here's some standard rules, expectations that we will have on the base pass this weekend and all weekends going forward. Number 1, never, ever, ever take your eye off the baseball. Always know where the baseball is at all times. Number 2, flash the outs. As soon as you get on base, boom, we take our hard turn, we come back to the base, find me over that third base coach's box. 1 out. Then check the outfielders. Why are we checking the outfielders? We're looking for the open green grass. So when that ball goes in the gap, we don't have to hesitate. We're like, oh, we know he's playing down the line. This ball's in the gap. I'm able to get that good jump, that good read. Number 3, green light special. I don't care how fast you are. I don't care how slow you are. It does not matter to me. You have the green light. With great freedom, though, comes great responsibility. Get a lead, get a jump, go. We're reading leg lift. If I back up here, as soon as we see this come up in the air, we're gone. Now, if we're here, boom, a bunch of quick slide steps. We'll pick our spots. We will run on a slide step. Trust me. 3-2, we run on everything. 3-2, we are always going. Runners at first and second. It's not even about the jump in that situation. That basically is about you guys going and us betting on the hitter that he's not going to strike out. Number 6 here I have, aggressive secondaries. When you're not stealing, that's fine. We get our nice base lead. Boom, boom. We're popping off. And when you pop off and you take a nice aggressive secondary, you have to be able to bust your ass back to the bag. Obviously, we know catchers are going to be looking to back pick. Number 7 here. Read the balls in the dirt. Go on separation. All right, there's 2 ways to do this. When the ball comes out of the hand and we know the ball is going to be in the dirt, if you get that fantastic read, boom, boom, secondary, ball in dirt, if you want, we can take a chance to just go. If not, we wait to see what the catcher does, the block, and then as soon as the block happens, as soon as there's separation, that is when we take off. Okay, this is one that not a lot of you guys actually know. Believe it or not, I've had very few players come to us and be like, oh, Coach Byrnes, I know exactly what you're talking about. Secondaries. All right, whenever a ball's coming in from the outfield and there's going to be a play, let's just say, boom, you hit a base hit to right field. Right fielder gets it. He's throwing the ball home. There's a runner on second base. There's going to be a play at the plate. You round first base, and as soon as you round first base, we're looking back in at the plate, and we're taking a secondary with it. And we're reading ball, knocking off the catcher's glove. Maybe the cutoff guy who happens to be the first baseman hits us off his glove, whatever. Bam, we take it. We take that extra base right there. Quick pause right now. Kowalski, some of your thoughts on what we just went over.
Yeah. I oftentimes think next base mentality, base running. And what I learned a lot from you, a dude with elite level speed in the Grande Ligas, was base running is not just about speed. Speed is great if you have it. But if you don't have quickness in your legs, you can still be an excellent base runner. By exactly what Skipper here was just talking about, those secondary outfield leads, that awareness of the situation, by being quick with your mind, taking an aggressive lead to distract the pitcher, right? Faking a steal and getting a good jump on a base hit are some things you can do to get an advantage on the other team, regardless of what kind of speed you actually have. Good base running is as much about having the right mindset as it is about having the physical tools and speed.
Yeah, and go back to something you said right there, maximizing your lead, making the pitcher think about you. When he's thinking about you, he's not thinking about the batter. And so how many times have we seen the pitcher be overconsumed with the base runner, and then next thing you know, leaves the ball over the middle of the plate, this ball gets pounded, and we end up scoring that way. All right, with 2 outs, all runners are running on contact. We know this. With 2 outs and 2 strikes, the runners are running on what, Kowalski?
Contact.
The swing. No, the swing. As soon as we see hands go, we go. Base runner, second base. It's all about fighting for the inch. And so if we're going to fight for the inch, read hands. Boom. As soon as that swing starts, we're off. Why? Because what happens? Worst case scenario, he swings through it, and that's it. But that is everything when it comes to maximizing our jumps and then obviously being able to take advantage of every single inch we're able to create for ourselves. When you're on second base, by the way, let's create depth with leads from second base. So I can't tell you how many times I'm over there in the third base coach's box and I'm looking at our runner at second base and there's 2 outs and the runner's right in the baseline. That's what you're doing is you're making it really hard for yourself to run to third and have to get the proper angle running home. If you're in the baseline with 1 out, I'm okay with it, but I still want you creeping into the baseline. And I'm okay with it only because we're trying to steal third base, and that should be your mentality. So we're trying to create the shortest distance to third. But when we're on second and we know we're just going on a contact situation or we're going on the swing, we need to create the best angle to go home. So I want us at least 7 feet, 10 feet, and back of second base this way as we're creating that angle. Okay, leads on third are 100% dependent on what that third baseman is giving us. So if the third baseman is 10 feet off the third base bag, you as a base runner need to be 10 feet off third base the other way. If he's 20 feet, we'll be 20 feet. If he goes back to 15, we're back to 15. He goes back to 20, we're back to 20. I've had situations before we're almost halfway down the line where I'd say the third baseman's 30 feet away from third base. So us as base runners could be 30 feet away from third base as well. And the only thing we have to worry about is, boom, we're back to the bag as soon as he goes back to the bag. But this puts us in a position to score on a pass ball, to obviously read that ball in the dirt if we see separation, and then if there's any ground ball in the infield or anything happening, there's going to be a play at the plate. We're that much closer to it. Okay, the hard turns on all hits. We're looking for a bobble. That's it. As soon as the ball's hit, you guys hit a base hit, you're going to hear me yelling, make a turn, make a turn. Kowalski, if he's at first base, is me saying the same thing. Find the ball, make a turn, make a turn. When the ball's in front of you, you guys are the ones who are going to decide whether or not you're going to take that next base. Now, it might be an obvious situation where, say, Kowalski's at first, 2-2-2, go, 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 go. And you hear that, we'll follow his lead and we'll go. But remember this, when you guys are out there and you're at first base and there's a ball hit in the left center field gap, whether or not you guys go to third base is on you. Don't look at me. The only time you're going to look at me at third base is when the ball is hit behind you. And then at that point, you find me, and I'll either be doing this or I'll have my hands up like that. Stop at second, stop at second, stop at second. Trail runner, always watching the runner in front of you. Whether it's first and second, you're watching the guy, he might rip third, all of it. You can't go anywhere unless he goes. So we're always keeping our eyes on that guy. And then last thing here, just run hard on everything at all times. Failure to do so is going to, honestly, it's not good. We've had a couple situations, and there's no need to throw out threats or you bench or this or that. It's just, this is beyond an expectation. It's what we do. And so it's one of those things, Kowalski, that is obviously within our control, right? Our attitude, our effort, and that comes down to how we run the bases and the effort in which we put forth for it. Your thoughts, some final conclusions on the base running section here.
Yeah, I mean, I think you really summed it up well, man. I think base running comes down to the will of each player to be a complete player, right? A pride in learning and being prepared for each and every pitch. Sometimes we get a little casual on the bases, but the pre-pitch plan is the same, no matter on offense, defense, on the bases, in the dugout, right? It's self-control. I get myself in a green light state. What's my plan? My plan on this pitch, and then it's trust. I execute that plan with total trust and commitment. So I think, that's what I got on base running.
Always be looking to take the next base. Always assume the ball's in play. Always assume the ball's in play.
PCA mentality out there.
We did it in Huntington, where we had a runner at third. Catcher goes out to talk to the pitcher, and I walked down with the runner. I said, go. And he went, safe at home. The umpire, who didn't call timeout, is like, I think time was out. And there was this confusion. They screwed it up. I'm okay with it, but we'll take that chance. And what's worst case scenario? They say they call timeout? Middle infielders. A lot of times when we look at the middle infielders, and you'll see the shortstop here drift, you'll see the second baseman drift here. You're that guy on first base. We don't do a ton of delayed stealing, but the time to do it typically would be with 2 outs. These guys not in double play depth. These guys super wide. We take our secondary. We go. You're going to beat those guys in the bag every single time. I can't tell you, too, how many times I stole third base. I mean, it had to have been at least 20 in my career with the third baseman just being off the bag and me creeping off second base before a pitch is even thrown to run to the third.
And I think there's opportunity with a lefty to swipe more bags at third as well, because he kind of gets, you can kind of lull him to sleep there and pick one away if the third baseman's off as well, especially with the lefty.
Great job. So when it comes to a lefty on the mound, what we're trying to do is maximize our lead, and we're doing one-way leads, right? As soon as that leg lifts up, we're leaning back to the bag here. Boom. Back to the bag, and then we get our secondary. Lefty again, lifts up, boom, back to the bag. Now, if we are going to steal on a lefty, there's a couple ways to do it. We could read him if he's one of these guys that goes like this. We could actually wait till we see this and then go, and then the other one is to go first move. Well, if we are going to go first move, like Kowalski said, the best thing to do is you lull him to sleep. So we almost shorten our lead a little bit after not going for a few pitches. And we're here kind of leaning back to the back. He lifts his leg, we go. That's it. Glad you brought that up. All right, let's get into the hitting, Kowalski.
Mm-hmm.
Situational savants. Know the situation when you come up to the plate. Leading off an inning. There's a runner on second base and no outs. There's a runner on third base and 1 out. There's a runner on second base and 2 outs. Know the situation. Know what is called for in that situation, right? You're the leadoff guy. You're leading off the inning. We need you on base. You come up. There's a runner on second base and no outs. We need you getting that runner from second to third, no matter what. You come up with a runner on third base, less than 2 outs. Infield's back. We need that runner scoring. Easiest way to do that, ground ball up the middle. Now, with all these situations, just have an idea of a plan. Have a plan, have an approach. See the ball out of the hand, and we're looking at pound. Before 2 strikes, get a good pitch to hit. We're looking for something to drive, something we can hit hard, not just something we can put in play, but something we could do damage with. Aggressive to your zone. The terminology we always use, Kowalski, 80 will get you 100. Loose muscles, fast muscles, powerful muscles. When we're trying to swing like this, it's just there's too much tension in the swing. Tension-free barrel release. A to B. This is what you're going to hear me say a lot. Here's your A position. This is launch position. Here's your B position. It's barrel of ball. Ready? Here, A, B, A, B, A, B. It's as simple as possible as opposed to A, B, C, D, E, like, right? Coming around it. No. A, B. Stay short, stay sweet. All right. 2-strike approach. We need to see adjustment. Spread out, choke up on the bat a little bit, do whatever you have to do. Get on the dish. Be a dog. The first 2 are for you. Last one's for the team, boys. Turn to me in the third base coach's box. Kowalski in the first base coach's box, whatever it is. Yeah, right here. Be a bulldog. Be a bulldog. It's just a recognition of, hey, I got 2 strikes. I may strike out. That's okay. But you know what? I am going to fight for every one of these strikes that I have left. Take walks when they're given. Let's not do the pitchers any favors. Don't need to, right? Like a guy's out there and he's struggling. He's not throwing strikes. We don't have to force the issue. We are in control in that situation. Okay, we do not sacrifice bunt, but we always are looking for opportunities to take advantage of the bunt base hit that is given to us. Perfect example. Runner first and second, no outs. If for whatever reason the third baseman is playing back, bunt the ball to third baseman. And it doesn't even have to be a really late drag type of thing. It could almost be a sacrifice where we're putting that ball in play to the third baseman. At the very least, we're going to get those runners over to second and third, and we'll have those guys in scoring position. But more likely than not, as it happened in our last tournament, we put the ball at third baseman, it's a base hit. I'm like, this guy's giving us free base hits, and it was Silas. Great job, dude. We had a runner on third base and no outs. And Silas is left-handed. He goes like this. Boom. Puts it right to the third baseman. Wasn't even close at first. So let's pay attention to those situations and take advantage of each and every one of the ones that they give us. Okay. We may get out. And we're going to get out. I take that back. Here's the thing. Make them earn it. They will have to earn everything. So, perfect example. We had, I think it was Biscuit, who was in a big situation of the game. He was leading off an inning. And I think we were down 1 at the time. Puts together a 10, 12 pitch at bat. Unbelievable. Gets rung up on a questionable strike 3 call. But that pitcher was out there working and working and working and working. Well, what happens? Nate comes up his next at bat right after Biscuit. Boom. Pops a barrel. Seabass after that. Pop a barrel in a gap. Score a run. You look back upon that inning. It's everybody that contributed to that. Of course, that's not happening without Nate or Seabass, but it's also not happening without Biscuit and the long at bat. So that said, if we are going to go down, let's go down fighting for it. Kowalski, your thoughts on all the hitting recommendations we have here at LTP?
How many times, like, we have to make sure we have the proper perspective. And number one, when Byrnesy said 80 gets you 100, right? I was talking to the mayor, Sean Casey, about that not too long ago. It's something we've been talking about a long time. And I heard Jazz Chisholm maybe 3 months ago said, I'm playing the game at 75% right now. I was talking to Casey about it, and now Byrnesy and I've been saying that for years. But boys, what you need to know is that if you've got 75%, do battle with the 75% you don't got, that you do have, and don't worry about the 25 you don't. Because what's going to show up is your little buddy, man. When it's game time, man, and you got the uniform on and feel ain't real anymore, and you act differently than you feel, you cross the mechanism, clear the barrier across the mechanism, right? Now, your little buddy adrenaline's going to be there to give you 20 or 25%. So 80 gets you 100. When you talk about the approach, I think we've got to keep it in perspective. What you've been talking about the whole time is quality at bats. Boys, if you hit a buttery backspin biscuit barrel pop right through the eye of the barrel, tension free, you hit the ball hard, you did your job. You're going to play the game a long time if you get quality hard contact after quality hard contact. But you must be in control of yourself before you can control your performance. So get yourself in the ideal performance state and then execute pitches. When you talk about Biscuit and his long quality at bat there, right? Anytime you see 7 pitches or more, anytime you hit the ball hard, a walk, a hit by pitch, a sacrifice bunt, a sacrifice fly, all these are quality at bats. Right? So when you see your teammate battle, Byrnesy, it reminds me of an Augie Garrido story where, let's call him Steve, preseason All-American. He's at the dish. Same situation at the end of the game, though, to win the game. And here's Steve, and he did exactly what Biscuit did, right? Quality at bat, tough at bat. He was a tough out. And here's Steve, a freshman at the end. He ends up getting punched on a questionable call, right? But he released, and he stayed in green lights, and he stayed present for each pitch, not letting a past or a future pitch affect this pitch. And Augie did exactly what you did. The game's over. Boom. The kid punches out. He's down. He goes, you boys see Steve? You see Steve release that pitch and be a tough out? That's a hell of a quality at bat, Steve. That last pitch, that's on you, Blue. You suck. Steve, great job, boys. That's what it takes to win the mental game and win a national championship. And, of course, they went on and won a national championship. So we over me mentality, and that can inspire your teammates to go out and barrel and run that pitch count up, too, on the boys.
And Kowalski, remember on the bench, too, I think Breland's going to be with us as well. So I think we'll have plenty of support, letting the boys know when to celebrate. But when someone does take a quality at bat like that, when somebody does get the runner over from second to third base, when we do get the guy in with a ground out, those are the things that we need to celebrate. We had a situation in the last tourney, I believe it was in the semifinal game, where we got a guy on with a walk, we stole a base, we got the runner over, got him in with the ground ball. The next inning, it was we got a guy on base, we end up stealing a base, we get the guy over, and then that's when I think it was Silas that dropped the bunt. And we're celebrating all of it. And we were only up 2-0 at that point after 2 innings. But that was the point where I turned to, I think, Dan Herron, who was still there. I go, this is why we're going to win the fucking tournament. That right there. That was it. And the 2-0 might as well have been 10-0, right? And you know that feeling. And we went on to win like 5-2. But it was everything right there. And so I just want to make sure, boys, pay attention to that and pay attention to all of the little things. While I'm on a note there.
We'll have the Quab whiteboard, by the way, in the dugout, where each guy comes in. A quality at bat will be written down by the player and be celebrated. We'll also have hustle plays down here, too. So we play to the process, not to the outcome, boys. We play to the standard, not to the scoreboard. It's easy to wipe out a team when it's 15-0. Oh, but in championship games, man, when it comes down to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pitches, it's the execution of the smallest details that produce the biggest results. That's why we got the board and Breland in there.
Speaking of pitching, as far as pitching for all the boys, number one, be ready to take the ball at any point. Be ready. We might have a plan. So often our plan changes. It does not matter. And every one of the kids we have, everyone pitches. Be ready to take the ball at any and all times. Pitch suggesting is what we do here, a little different with LTP. Same thing with the green light, hitting on 3-0 counts. You guys have the green light. Use your head. With great freedoms comes great responsibility. Talked about that. Same thing with on the bases. Well, pitching, I don't look at it any different. I want you guys throwing the pitch that you want to throw. Now, you may have a suggestion. The catcher's going to put down 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever it is. You don't want that pitch? Shake it off. That's fine. Just be ready to explain. If we call a fastball, you want to throw a breaking ball, and this thing gets put in the gap, there's going to be some questions as, okay, well, why were you feeling that pitch as opposed to the other pitch? Mm-hmm. Pound zone. We are not afraid of contact. As a matter of fact, we're looking for it. We have historically, we have always had very good athletic defensive teams. Let these guys make a play. Kowalski, you talked about it a little bit with, just the overall approach and mentality. We say at the plate or whatever, but on the mound specifically, be a machine.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I want you to be almost robotic. Very little emotion. Give me the ball, next pitch, because each and every single pitch, and we know with these umpires, you might throw a ball down the middle, they're going to call it a ball. Or they call it a strike. Excuse me. Ball down the middle, they call it a ball, right? You might throw a ball down and away a foot off the plate, and they call it a strike. So just assume if they miss one, a lot of times they know when they miss one, and this is such an inexact science when it comes to calling balls and strikes at a youth level, that a lot of times these umpires are actually looking to give you a makeup call. But I promise you, when you're out there like, and complaining, that's why we as coaches, we don't complain about balls and strikes. Stop doing it. It's not helpful. Now, I will say, great pitch, really loud to let the umpire know that I thought it was a great pitch, but goes back to the number one rule in LTP, no whiners. We don't need it. And then, Kowalski, I'll let you take over the Andrew Chafin story. Let's go back a few years to the Arizona Diamondbacks spring training, in which left-handed pitcher Andrew Chafin, you and I both had a really cool opportunity to talk to him for a long time. What did Andrew Chafin tell us?
Well, as you guys know, he's a good old boy, rock, flag, and eagle. And I said, Chafe, man, you're having an all-star caliber year, elite level pitch execution up there. What's going through your mind out there when you're executing, man, and you're up on top of Chafin's Island? And he said, well, Kowalski, man, Burnsy, I don't do much but pitch and fish. And he stopped right there. So I dug a little deeper. Come on, man. Like, yeah, I hear you. I know you're keeping it simple and you're just focused on, what you need to do out there being the one pitch warrior. But what goes through your mind pre-pitch, during the pitch, after the pitch? He goes, well, Kowalski, Burnsy, it's like this. I throw a pitch. They don't hit it. I just throw that shit again.
That was it. And we literally went back right away. We're writing this down. This is right when we started LTP. I'm like, is that not just the greatest pitching philosophy of all time? If I throw a pitch and they can't hit it, I'm going to throw it again.
Yep.
Simple as that. All right.
Do you want anything on the pitchers here, though? Like when I've been lucky enough to get behind the curtain with your boy Ichabod Kane and see this dude work with Oregon State, Coastal Carolina, Vandy, Cal State Fullerton, TCU. You sit down in a pitchers meeting. We ask those guys, man, what's your job, boys? What do they say? Keep my team in the game. Give my team a chance to win. Put up 0. Nah, dudes. Those are the outcomes of you doing your job, which is to only execute one pitch at a time and play the game mentally and physically. There ain't shit you can do once that ball leaves your hand. You got to be in control of yourself before you can control your performance. And if you can execute quality pitches, which is you throw the ball where you intended to throw it and you never give a pitch away, now we're winning. And if you want to win, it's what's important now. Burnsy?
Perfect summation. It's funny because with the pitching stuff, is of all the categories that we have here, I have the least amount of things kind of that I list. But I also think that's the one where we have to live by the Andrew Chafin Keep it simple theory, right? I don't think this is anything we need to overcomplicate. We're fighting for it one pitch at a time. We're pounding the strike zone, and that's it. And
self-control, plan, trust. Because like you said, you want a pitcher to throw what he trusts, right? Because the right pitch thrown with no trust and no commitment is the wrong pitch thrown with total trust and commitment is better than the right pitch thrown with none.
And more than anything, trust your defense.
Right.
We've worked really hard to put these teams together that have incredible defensive ability. So on that note, let's get to the defense. First and most important thing of defense, prep step. Be prep step savages. When that ball is out of the pitcher's hand and is crossing home plate, boom. I've taken videos, and I promise you I will do it again, of all the guys on the diamond. So we have all 9 players when the pitcher releases the ball and the ball's crossing home plate. And I literally, there was one where I had, it was just so beautiful, where at the same time, everybody, simultaneously. So, look, I get it. Sometimes it can be a long game. Sometimes you're in right field. You don't think the ball's coming to you, and you're just here. Prep, step, every single pitch. Read swings, right? We have a guy that, say, he's sitting down in the order. He's fouled the first 2-3 balls off to the right side. You got to figure we're going to keep pounding this guy with fastballs because he's so late. Let's move, and let's move together. Communication on every pitch. If you're the center fielder and you're going to take 3 steps to your left because we're reading that swing, let the left fielder know. I'd prefer typically to move our guys like this and not leave these gaping holes. Always somewhere to be on the field. Always. Every time that ball is put into play, there's always somewhere to back up. If there's a pickoff over to first base, second baseman, I need you moving. Right fielder, I need you moving. Always somewhere to be. My goal as an outfielder, Kowalski, was to somehow, some way find myself in the pickle when we had a runner caught between second and third. Oh, it was great. So I'd always be running there, and I was just hoping for the ball. I don't think it ever happened. But that's the mentality that I think we have to take overall from a defensive perspective, is there is always somewhere to be at all times. Nora, pop-up priorities. We had a few balls, a couple, last tournament, right over the first baseman's head in a really tough spot. Second baseman, that's your ball. Same sort of thing. You get a tough ball over the third baseman's head coming this way, shortstop. Bust your ass over there. If you can get to it, you are the guy. If you're in the outfield and you see that ball in that no man's land, you're the left fielder, you're the center fielder, you're the right fielder, and it's in that no man's land, and you can get there quicker or everyone's arriving at the same time, that's your ball. Make sense? Yes, it does. All right. Yep. Same sort of thing with the be ready to take the ball at any time. Be ready to play anywhere and everywhere. We pride ourselves on being complete baseball players. We pride ourselves of, you might be a third baseman, and we might say, hey, yo, dude, you're a shortstop this inning. You might be a second baseman. All right, you're a third baseman this inning. You might be, I'm a second baseman, and now you're playing left field. Be athletes out there. Want the ball. Fight for the ball. I think a lot of defense, the number one thing, Kowalski, and you could speak about this, is you have to want the baseball. You have to want even when times aren't going good. You might have just kicked 2 balls in a row, and we've all had the feeling, oh, shit, don't hit the ball to me, don't hit the ball to me. Give me that ball. I'm making up for it. I may have missed that one, but I want this one. Give it to me. Make the spectacular play. Make the routine play. Just whatever it is, want the baseball. Kowalski, your thoughts on that?
I think there's levels to this game, man, right? We're learning it, and then you do it, and then you own it. There's levels to the game. You want to be the best player for the team, not the best player on the team. All of you are elite level ballers at this point, right? So you want to be the best player for the team, not on the team. Be open to play anywhere that's best for the team. When we talk about fielding, I think oftentimes we put a lot of emphasis on the 3 seconds during the pitch, right? And I remember Joe Madden always talking about all 9 players play defense each pitch, right? but it's usually the 15 to 20 seconds before and after the pitch that are probably more critical to get yourself self-control, right? In green lights. What's my plan on this pitch, knowing the situation, and then, okay, I'm going to execute it with full trust and commitment, get my breath, get into my prep step and say, hit it to me. I can make any play. I'm smooth, stay down, quick as a cat, right? So it's really important. Like Byrnesy said, confidence is the name of the game, boys. It's got to be hit it to me. We can't be searching for confidence from your coaches, your parents, or your teammates during the pitch, right? Even if you don't buy into what you're saying to yourself, make the effort to stay positive out there, because you start to direct your focus and it keeps you from saying something negative. If your mind can't say, I hope the ball gets hit to somebody else, for example, when you have it saying, hit it to me.
Kowalski.
Yeah.
Which brings up the great point. Having the confidence to say, hey, I want the ball hit to me, also comes with the responsibility of knowing where to go with the baseball. Mm-hmm. So it doesn't matter where you're playing. All right, if I'm a shortstop and there's a runner on first base and there's one out, ball hit up the middle, boom. We're turning that double play. Ball hit the second baseman. I'm covering second. We're turning the double play. Ball hitting the hole. I'll probably come try to get one in that situation in which the second baseman, you guys got to know this, then you become a first baseman if we're just becoming one, right? Get a little stretch out there. If you're an outfielder, there's a runner on second base, and there's one out. All right, base hit. I know I'm coming up. I'm throwing home, and I'm going to make sure I hit that cutoff guy. Maybe with 2 outs in that situation, you're like, okay, base hit, I'm getting it, and say 2 outs and that's a winning run, I'm going all the way through, and we're nailing that guy at home. If there's a ball in the gap, nowhere to go. Every single time, okay, there's a runner on first base, ball in the gap. If I get that ball, it's hitting the gap, I'm hitting my cutoff guy. Most likely, we're trying to nab that dude going from first to home in that situation. But go over all these scenarios in your mind before. Ball down the line, same sort of thing.
You know what you do, and you do it in your own language. And I don't know how many times you read The Mental Game of Baseball or Heads Up Baseball, or it was something that was baptism by fire over 12 years in the show in Dominican Winter Leagues. But self-control, plan, trust. As I get myself in green lights, the plan is the 15 to 20 seconds in between pitches is where the mental game lives. And I see the ball hit to my glove side, backhand right at me over my head. And I see myself executing on those potential scenarios, just like you said. And then I execute with full trust and commitment.
Yep. All right. Let's get into this. The one thing I want to talk about too, never take our eye off the runner. Same way when we're the runner, we're never taking our eye off the baseball. We will never, ever, ever, ever take our eye off the runner. Always assume that runner is looking to take the extra base at all times. Always take the sure out. 18 outs, 21 outs? We're playing 7 innings to give and get in this game. We hoard outs, absolutely hoard outs on offense and defense. They are the most important thing that we have. So, when it comes to bunt defense, you're not going to see us doing the wheels, trying to get the guy in third, all that other BS. We're getting the ball, and we're taking the out. If they're willing to give us the out, let's take the out in any and all situations. First and third plays, we'll talk about it. We will have a play where we throw through, which we do almost all the time. Got a lot of faith in our catchers throwing out the runner at second base. Also have a lot of faith where if we throw a BB down to second base, kids aren't fast enough yet. I think we have the ability to still grab that ball, fire back home, and potentially get them there. We've actually had a double play before where we went catcher, boom, getting the guy at second. Guy got a bad jump from third, threw back home. But when in doubt, get the out. Okay, cutoffs. Third base is a cutoff on base hits to left field. Third base is a cutoff on base hits to left field. First base is a cutoff on base hits to center field and right field. That's with a runner on second when we are trying to get him at home. This is where you guys got to pay attention because this is everything. If you guys have any questions about this, we'll go over this on Saturday. We're going to run through all this. But please understand, double cuts are difference makers. Great teams do them. Shitty teams don't. Simple as that. Runner at first base. The play is going to be at home. That's the money bag, right? Okay. Play at third or second only if there is no play at home. Ball down the left field line and the left center field gap. The shortstop is the cutoff guy. The second base trails 20 feet behind and backs him up as the first baseman then trails the hitter as he makes his way to second. Ball in the right center field gap. The second baseman is a cutoff guy. The shortstop is going to trail him about 20 feet behind and back up whatever throw may come in. And then the first baseman is still trailing the runner into second base. Ball down the right field line. Second baseman, you're still the cutoff guy. First baseman is going to trail and back him up 20 feet behind, and we'll have the shortstop stay home covering second. This is huge because I can't tell you how many times, let's just say, for example, there's a ball hitting the left center field gap. Center fielder gets it, turns, fires, overthrows the first cutoff guy, but we have the second guy there backing him up, ready to make that play. And originally you're like, whoa, who's covering second? Well, first baseman is, right? This is a for sure extra base hit. So that first baseman is going to trail the runner every single time. Cutoff guy, if you're the shortstop or the second baseman, and that throw is coming in at your feet, instead of trying to be the hero and picking it, step out of the way and you let the next guy get it behind you. Make sense, Kowalski?
We're priming the pump here, right? Studying the playbook, tuning up and tuning in and being prepared. You know, pilots don't take off without going through a pre-fight checklist. That's exactly what we're doing here. So nor do Navy SEALs get done with a mission and they don't sit down and debrief and say, this is what we did well. This is what we can do better. And here's how we're going to do it next time to improve. So yeah, I love all of it, man. We're priming the pump.
And remember this, the best amount of throws to get an out is how many, Kowalski?
1.
0. If we can get an out without throwing the baseball, let's take the out without throwing the baseball. That's it. You're the first baseman.
That was kind of a riddle.
You're the first baseman. You get the ball. You have a chance. I can either flip it to my pitcher that looks so pretty running over there, and it's a great play. Fine. If you can get it and you're 100% of the time going to be able to run and touch first base before that runner, you do it every single time. If we have a guy to run down, let's not throw the ball. If we have the rundown, you're like, oh, I could chase him and tag him out right here. In that situation, we're going to tag him out. All right, Kowalski, last thing here, and then I'll let you have some concluding thoughts before we go into this weekend. The let them play creed, based on, in my humble opinion, the greatest team in the history of teams creed, that is the Navy SEALs. And so when we wrote this book and went over, you know, a lot of the stuff that we just went over, you know, is in here. But the biggest thing for me is to make sure collectively as a unit, we were on the same page. And so we took this creed and sort of made it our own. And I think it's just something that, you know, if you've ever played for LTP in the past, if you're ever going to play at LTP in the future, this is what we want you buying into. This is what we feel like is everything. This is what we feel like is going to help us put all of us in a position to succeed, the organization in position to succeed as well. Just getting the creed here. Quals, you got some thoughts leading into it?
No, please, fire away.
All right. The let them play creed based on the Navy SEAL ethos. In times of challenging practices or games, there is a special breed of ball players ready to step up in any and all situations. A common baller with an uncommon desire to succeed. Forged by adversity, they stand alongside some of the very best, most well-prepared, go-hard savages in the nation, ready to do whatever it takes to help their team win. I am that dude. Let them play as a symbol of honor and heritage bestowed upon me by the players and coaches who have gone before. It embodies the trust of the team I have sworn to represent. By willing to let them play uniform, I accept the responsibility of my opportunity and dedicate myself to freely and fearlessly playing this great game. With great freedoms come great responsibilities. I will be responsible for my freedoms and grateful for every opportunity that comes my way. Success is not owned, it's leased, and rent is due every single day. I will pay the rent. We are only as good as our next performance. Our work is never finished. Tomorrow is reserved for the labor of the lazy. I will work now. Pressure is a privilege. I will earn that privilege. My loyalty to the organization and team is beyond reproach. I humbly serve as a guardian to all my teammates, and I'm willing and ready to pick those up who may be unable to pick up themselves in that moment. I do not advertise the nature of my work nor seek recognition for my actions. I voluntarily accept whatever position I'm asked to play and whatever spot in the order I'm assigned to hit, placing the welfare of the team before my own. I will honor the game. I will respect my coaches. I will respect my teammates. I will respect the umpires. I will respect my opponent, but fear no one. There is no pitcher, batter, or fielder too difficult. We want the best, we need the best, and we are the best. Iron sharpens iron. I am iron. I will never quit. I will preserve and thrive on adversity. My team expects me to be physically harder and mentally stronger than our opponent. When it's too tough for them, it's just right for us. If knocked down, I will get back up every time. I will draw on my training as well as my past successes to give me the strength to battle, no matter the situation or circumstance. We are never out of the fight. The ability to control my emotions and actions, regardless of circumstance, sets me apart from others. Uncompromising passion, energy, and effort is my standard. My character, attitude, and hustle are steadfast. My preparation reflects my commitment. We expect to lead and be led. In the absence of orders, I will take charge, lead my teammates, and execute the play. I lead by example in all situations. We demand discipline. We expect innovation. The success of the team depends on my ability to adapt, adjust, and overcome. My skills must be trained. My training is never complete. We train hard to play easy. I stand ready to fully send my effort in every game, in every play, in any way. There simply is no other option. My execution will be efficient, effective, and in the rare case it is required, violent, but always guided by three basic rules. No whiners, be kind, and go hard. My attention to detail is superior. My situational awareness is next level. I will always keep my eye on the baseball. We have fought to build this proud tradition and feared reputation that I am bound to uphold. I will uphold the character by which that tradition and reputation have been built. In the most challenging conditions, the legacy of my team and teammates steadies my resolve and silently guides my every move. The place is here. The time is now. We will win. We will learn. Let them play. Let's fucking go.
You want a football? Go to ericbyrnes.com. You're looking for a bat? Go to Birdman. You're looking for a green light home plate? Hit me up. You want to talk mental game? Call me 480-529-5756. Also got the custom lids. The merch is dropping. Glow in the dark font there. Bernsey, that was fantastic. Delighted to be here with you. There's nothing more that needs to be said after the creed has been read.
So good, dude. Kowalski, thanks for joining. Looking forward to this weekend, man.
We will out-team the other team. We will out-compete the competition because, as we know, the best teams and players don't always win. It's the teams and players that play the best that win.
On that note, one last message for everybody. See ya!